Hello and welcome to The Hero's Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have Rebecca. Rebecca has a bomb drop of May 30th, 2024, and a date of marriage of 2006. She has a boomerang who is a high energy replayer. Rebecca says, now bear with me for a minute because I'm going to read a long description and then a little bit more information that I asked for in email, because Rebecca didn't ask a specific question. So I asked her if she wanted me to just give her some generic information and some help with their midlife crisis, or if she had something specific she wanted me to go over. So she says, we have been together for 30 years and married for 19. My husband started acting distant in September of 2023. I had just changed jobs and that allowed me more time at home, and I wanted to spend more time with him, and he refused. He wanted to hang out with his friends. And in May of 2024, he told me he wasn't sure if he wanted to be married anymore. He just wanted a separation. I declined. And it looks like I declined and moved to divorce. But he said, no, just a separation. It made me feel like there was a chance to resolve this. So we went to counseling. It says I went to counseling. I'm assuming this is a we. That was in September of 2024. We separated a few times, and I went to his sister's and he went to his sister's. But these weren't long separations. In March of 2025, I found out that he had an affair. And he'd been having this affair for about a year and a half. And he has now been gone since that time. That was March of 2025. So September of 2023 was when we had our starting acting distant. And I think I was saying September 2023 was about bomb drop. I said about 8 months after bomb drop. So March of 2025, found it, okay. But September of 2023, 2023, September 20. So about 8 months after bomb drop was when she found out. September of 2023 was when the affair started. And about 8 months after bomb drop was when she discovered the affair, or he told her something like that. Okay. I spoke with the alienator to make myself a human to her. And I wasn't sure if she knew I was the wife. Maybe I wasn't sure she knew that he was married. She was aware the whole time, and it's love. In other words, she said that they were in love, it sounds like. From March of 2025 until August, I spiraled, and now I'm much calmer now. I will not have conversations unless needed, as long as he is in an affair. His brother said he doesn't understand him, and they have been best friends, but they now have minimal contact. We have 2 kids, 21 and 18, and he texts them daily and goes out to dinner about once a week. They don't know where he lives. Then I sent her an email saying, do you have a specific question? Or would you just like me to give you some basic information based on what you've told me? She said, I'm struggling with the fact that he hasn't called or texted, and it's been 18 days, and he has bare minimum communication with the kids. 1 text a day, maybe dinner every week. I realize that they're adults, and they will have their own relationships with him, but my son just turned 18, started college, and just doesn't know how to talk to my husband. So the relationship is superficial, and they used to be so in tune with each other. I just want to fix this, and I know I can't. I've talked to and texted, but nothing changes. My husband just says, I know I need to do better. I told him I was going to contact his brother to step in a bit more. And he was at first opposed. What can I do? I've been the one initiating contact every time, and I have not contacted him since October 19th. And that's about 2 weeks. Sorry, this is so long. I appreciate any insights. Okay. So first, Rebecca, and I think you know some of this, but we're going to go over it. What can you do is, first thing, you're going to get to a point where I want you to be there for your children. But at the same time, let your children manage their relationship with their dad. It sounds like you've talked to him, and he has said, I know I need to do better. The thing is, for a while, he's probably not going to do better. Or he's going to do better and then worse. He's going to cycle. It'll be back and forth. And they are going to get disappointed and then hopes. And disappointed, hopes up and down, which could make it worse because of the having their hopes and then dropped again. And that up and down cycle might make it much worse for them rather than just staying the same. In some ways, it's better that he doesn't contact them for a few weeks at a time or hardly ever, rather than giving them hopes and then letting them down, and giving them hopes and letting them down. So right now, he is not to be counted on. And somebody in an affair, somebody who is going through an existential crisis of, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I'm going to do with life, I don't know what I want, is going to be like that. Midlife crisis gets worse before it gets better, and you can't manage it for them. I know you say, I just want to fix this now. And I think you meant their relationship, the kids and their dad. And you can't. You can't fix him. You can't fix that. And so you have to step out and let them figure that out. Let them manage it. Let them realize dad's not dad anymore, or he's changing. They're changing too. They're growing up. And their relationship was going to change as they grow anyway. Your son has just left for college. Your daughter is probably in college. Daughter is in college or just out. And those are relationships that are going to have been changing anyway. And so they need to reevaluate and reconfigure and figure out what kind of relationship they were going to have with him as emerging adults anyway. And so that was going to change. But now it's going to change in a different way. And you have to step out. Now, as for you bringing his brother in, yes and no. Maybe it's for an intervention. But again, that's not going to work. And if he thinks, well, she's just butting in, she's being a busybody, you're not going to change him. And the more you try, the more resistant he's going to be. He needs to go through his crisis. He needs to reintegrate whatever pieces of development he didn't get in the ages where he was supposed to get those. He needs to take the pieces of himself that are stuck in his shadow and figure out what he wants to keep, what he wants to discard. And sometimes they don't succeed with that during this. Sometimes they do. But he has to do that on his own. And if he doesn't get through that, it just goes on to another crisis. And that's for him to do. And it can take years. And so I know that's hard. And the communication is going to be at a minimum. And that alienator, she's a symptom. And she's going to think it's love. And she can feel it. And whatever. That's just that's how these things work out. And for the most part, these relationships do not succeed. But I can't make you a guarantee of that. I can't make you a guarantee that your relationship will go to reconciliation either. I can't make you any of those guarantees. What I need you to do, though, is I need you to focus, instead of focusing on the relationships of your children and him, I want you to focus on you and your healing. And then I want you to also focus on your relationship with your children, because while their relationship with dad is faltering, they need mom. They need to know somebody is there. Somebody is there and is strong for them and cares about them and isn't, I don't know if I want you in my life. Even though he's not saying that, his actions might show it or they feel it from them. But you're not that. That no matter what, they are important. And you can validate for them, Dad loves you. He's confused. And I can't speak for him, but I can see from what's happening. This is what I sense. He's confused. care right now. And he just needs to go through these things. And, this is Dad. But I know that Dad loves you. Okay. And yeah, I don't agree with what's going on over there on his side of the aisle either. But I'm here for you. And, you can call me up and I will listen. They need to have at least that one solid parent there. So validate that and be there for them. And to do that, you need to be emotionally regulated. So that's why I want you to work on your healing. I want you to work on it for them. I want you to work on it for you. I want you to work on it as a stander if you want to stand for your marriage. Because the only way to get to that point of reconciliation, if that's what you want, is to be healed. And that doesn't guarantee that you will get there because he might not make it there. But if you don't make it there, then you're not going to get there anyway. So you heal. And what that means is you detach. So healing is detaching. You work on what detachment is. Get there. The way I personally feel you get to detachment is mindfulness. Look at what mindfulness is. Look at becoming emotionally regulated, calm. Understand that what he's going through is separate from you. It is not your fault. This is a midlife crisis. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It feels like it does. It feels personal. He may have told you it's your fault, that everything that is wrong in the world is about you. That's gaslighting. It's not you. Midlife crisis is about traumas from childhood, traumas from adolescence, traumas from military service, young life, young adulthood. Things that they don't know how to integrate because they haven't done that. Things about having an activated amygdala where they might be stuck in a fight or flight and their senses are overloaded. And when their senses are overloaded, they don't know how to regulate themselves. And yet life continues. And we continue to come at them with life and want to do all these normal things and be normal. And yet, no, you're setting rules on me and all these other things and senses, and amygdala activated fight or flight. And then this alienator comes in and the alienator doesn't have any expectations of them other than, look, you're wonderful and you are so amazing. You're the hero. It's a fantasy. And who wouldn't want a fantasy? The fantasy explodes, implodes. It doesn't just simply fade. It blows up. It is usually a high conflict relationship. There's often emotional blackmail, and it is usually toxic. Especially if it's high conflict and emotional blackmail, that's toxic. Okay? But that's not your concern. Your concern is your healing. And you let all of those things happen organically on their own. Okay? Do it without you interfering. Step aside and you show that you are as happy and thriving, and you be a mirror because he will see it. He will see that you are doing well. You be an example. You will be strong. This is the thing that pulls others toward us. It is an attractive force. And be careful because he might be pulled to you and want to lean on you. And you set a boundary and say, you know what? Recognize he's not ready yet. I know you want that badly because you want to fix it. You still can't fix it. The strong person recognizes you can't fix it. Keep healing. Keep healing. Keep healing. Okay? And let him go through his crisis. Recognize the opportunity that he has to learn about himself and watch for that insight that he has in himself. Does he know? Does he see? Does he recognize and look at himself? And does he reflect? Does he have empathy? Okay? Does he want you to trust him? Does he become trustworthy? And these are things that are going to happen with time. They don't happen fast, but he wants them to happen fast. If he wants to get to reconciliation, then suddenly he wonders why it's not happening. He will get resentful that, well, why don't you trust me? And then he'll get angry again, and you'll know he's not ready. It's going to be, if it goes that way, it'll be back and forth. Okay? So keep healing, keep healing, keep healing. Emotionally regulated. Okay? That is the most important thing you're going to do, is be detached. And you have to keep doing it. It is a practice because you're going to have contact with him. And it will set you off that emotional regulation. Or you're going to have contact with your children who have had contact with him and they're upset. And you get upset because your children are emotionally dysregulated and you feel badly for them. And you want to protect them. So deep breaths, keep that emotional regulation. If you have a counselor, go. Okay? To learn, to have someone to talk to, whatever you need. Stay with that counselor. Stay in therapy. Not just so you can learn maybe about midlife crisis if you have someone who accepts what that is, but they don't need to. Maybe somebody who can help you with standing, but they don't need to. Maybe just for someone to talk to. Someone who can help you with healing, emotional detachment, getting through your traumas. Okay? Those are the real big things that I want you to have the help with. Someone to hold your hand, help you with your mindfulness and your detachment. Okay? And then I recommend that you join either the forum or the Facebook page where you can find a group, because those are the support groups where there are others like you. They understand what's going on too. Okay? And then you'll have the support of others who know how you feel. Okay? You can do this, Rebecca. But I can't tell you where you're going to be in your relationship at the end of it. But I can tell you that you personally can survive and thrive. Surviving is a heartbeat and a pulse and it's airway, breathing, all of those things. But thriving, that means you are choosing joy in life and you have a wonderful and beautiful and fulfilled life, regardless of whether your marriage survives or not. And that's what I want for you. I'd love it if your marriage survives. Or a divorce and you can reconcile again. Wonderful, fabulous. But the most beautiful and wonderful thing is if you thrive, no matter what. Okay? You can do that. You choose the joy. Okay? So, I hope this is helpful to you. Let me know if you have any more questions. Go join up and you will find support. And I will see everybody